Welcome to class 1 of Python. In this class, we are going to understand what is Python, why Python, okay, history of Python, who uses Python, advantages of Python, limitations of Pythons. All these particular topics we are going to cover in this particular class. Then first of all, we are going to understand what is Python. Python is a high-level, general-purpose, interpreted, object-oriented and scripting language. So first of all, Python is a high-level programming language. Okay, why it is called as high level means in any programming language, if you write the programs in English, then such programming language is called as what? High level programming language. So in Python, we write programs in English. That is why Python is called as high level programming language. Okay. Next, Python is general purpose programming language. Means Python language can be used to develop any type of application. Okay, any type of application we can develop in Python. That is why Python is called as general purpose language. Okay, then Python is an interpreted language. Generally, there are two types of translators are there for high level languages. One is compiler, next one is interpreter. Compiler translates all lines of the program at a time, whereas interpreter translates line by line and execute. Okay, but when we come to the Python uses what? Interpreter translator to execute the instructions. That is why Python is called as what? Interpreted language. Next one, Python is an object oriented language. So in any programming language, if you write programs by using classes and objects concept, then that programming language is called as what? Object oriented programming language. Therefore, in Python, we can write the programs by using classes and objects. Therefore, it is called as what? Object oriented programming language. Then Python is also called as scripting language. Now what do you mean by scripting language? Okay, scripting languages uses what? Interpreters. Okay, scripting language uses interpreter, and the code written in the scripting language can be used in what? Other languages. Okay, so that is why Python is called as what? Scripting language, because Python code written for some functionality can be used in what? Other languages like what? Java, C#, .NET. Okay, like this other language we can use. That is why Python is called as what? Scripting language. Okay. Next, we are going to understand why Python. Okay, so why we have to learn Python? So Python helps you to build what? Powerful applications. Okay, very powerful, simple and powerful applications you can develop in Python. Okay, faster and what? Easily. Okay, in Python you can develop the applications very rapidly and easily we can develop. What type of applications you can develop in Python means desktop applications. Means, for example, this MS Word is there. This is one of the desktop application you can develop. Notepad, calculator. Okay, so these such type of applications you can develop, as well as you can develop what? Web applications like gmail.com. Is it clear? Amazon.com. Like this, the web applications you can develop, games you can develop, data science and machine learning applications you can develop in Python, IoT, Internet of Things applications you can develop, robotics you can develop, and more. Like this, any type of applications you can develop very easily in short time. That is why we would like to use Python language. Okay, and moreover, Python is very easy language. That is why we would like to use what? Python. Okay, then history of Python. So when was this particular language was developed? So Python was developed by Mr. Judo van Rossum at Centrum Wiskunde Informatica Company, Netherlands country. Okay, so this particular person Rossum started writing this particular software, the Python language, in 1989, but it was first released on February 20, 1991. Okay, so it was released in the 1991. Okay, so we have to say when was Python developed means we have to say the year 1991. So he may started in 1989, but he released in what? 1991, and releasing year is important for us. Okay, so this is what simple history that you have to remember. So this is the actual person. Okay, Judo van Rossum. Okay, developed at this particular company, Centrum Wiskunde Informatica Company in Netherlands, in 1991. Okay, this is small history of Python. Next, Okay, then why Python name was given? Okay, so this this particular I say that Rosam. Okay, in shortcut we call him as what, Rosam. So Rosam was very much interested in one comedy serial telecasted in what BBC TV at that time in 1990s. Okay, so this Rosam was very much interested in what, one comedy serial. That comedy serial name was what, Monty's. Okay, Monty's Python Flying Circus. Okay, circus. So this particular is a comedy serial. Okay, telecasted in what, BBC TV. Okay, so this Rosam is very much interested in this particular, okay, comedy serial. Therefore, on this particular Python, okay, on this particular Python, he's given his programming language as what, Python. So behalf of this particular comedy serial, he kept his programming language name as what, Python. So Python is nothing but one fancy name. Okay, the name and the language have no relation. Okay, so from this particular, I repeat, from this particular serial name, he has taken the word Python and kept to his programming language. Okay, next. You can also type this particular thing in the Google and find some episodes. Okay, fine. Then who uses Python? So who are using this particular Python language around the world? Let's say that Python is using by everybody nowadays. Okay, like individuals, startup companies, big tech companies, okay, researchers, students, everybody is using Python, because Python is very easy and you can develop the applications faster. Okay, we'll see some companies. See, Google is using for backend and backend systems and machine learning purpose. Netflix is using Python for recommendations and data analysis. Okay, Facebook is using for infrastructure and data processing. Instagram is using for entire backend built with what, Django framework. Okay, Spotify for using Python for music recommendations and backend tasks. Dropbox for desktop client and backend logic. NASA for Python is using for scientific calculations and scripting. YouTube is generally using for what, Python is using for what, video streaming services and tools. Like this, almost all companies are using the Python. So that is why we have to learn Python to get the job in one of these companies. Okay, so that is why we have to learn the Python. Okay, next. Features or advantages of Python. So what are the advantages present in Python? First advantage is what, simple and easy to learn. Okay, so Python has what, simple syntaxes to write the programs. So like unlike C language or C++ or Java, okay, Python does not follow complex syntaxes. Python follows what, very simple syntaxes. For example, let us say to add two numbers, the instructions we can write in Python is like this. See, A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20, C is equal to A plus B. Okay, print C. This is what the Python code that you can write. Okay, now tell me, this is this is what we called as Python code. Okay, therefore it's very simple or not. So tell me what happens if you write in Java. Okay, for example, Java code you are writing, so it becomes having some complex syntax or not? Yes, you'll write class, for example, add. Okay, let's say that let me say that add. Okay, then here again write public static. Okay, static. Okay, then void main string. See how it's becoming string. Okay, string argv array. Okay, then again open the flower base. Okay, fine. Here you write integer a comma b comma c. Then you will be writing a is equal to 10. Okay, b is equal to 20. Now c is equal to a plus b. Then you will be writing here system dot out dot println c. See, it's now taking a lot of complex syntaxes or not, lot of statements you are writing or not. This is what happens. Okay, so Python is very simple language to develop the applications. Okay, so that is what I say, Python is very simple language and easy to learn. Okay, now second advantage is what, free and open source. So Python language we need not to purchase from any company. Okay, so Python language can be downloaded freely from what, www.python.org official website. So visit this particular website and download. That's it. Very simple. Okay. Next, Python language source code is available. What do you mean by source code? Okay. So this Python company, what does it do is, whatever the software they have written, that code, that instructions, okay, that complete source code will be given to you. Okay. Means whenever you download, you will get it. Okay. So that is what we call as source code. What we call as source code. So whatever the code they have written, okay, the Python company, whatever the code that is written for Python language, the complete code will be given to you. Okay. So what that source code will be useful. So what does the companies do here? It is the companies will download the source code of Python and they will customize it according to their requirements. Okay. So the companies, what does they do is, they will add some more features to the Python language and they will use in their company. Like that, there is the Python company is giving one provision to the companies. Okay. And they can change the software, they can change the Python language. Okay. And they can use in their companies. That provision is provided and is called as open source. Okay. Next, concise coding. Concise means what? Less coding. Already I told you that here. So in Java, we are writing these many instructions. But when we come to the Python, the number of instructions is reduced or not. Like this in Python, very big applications you can write in what? Write in what? With a lesser number of lines. So big applications you can develop in Python with a lesser number of lines. Okay. That is what we call as concise coding. For example, we'll consider. For example, read a file and print its content on the screen. So whatever the file content is there, that we have to print on the screen. If you write the same program, okay, if you write this program in C, C++ or Java, nearly it will take 20 lines of code. But when we come to the Python, what is happening is, see, this is one line of code. This one line will print the file content on the screen. Okay, like this: print, open, this file name, whatever the file name that you want to print on the monitor, that file name, and open for read mode. Okay. So this open function will open the file in read mode, and this read function will read all the content present in this file and it will supply to the print method which prints on the monitor. See, you are in other language you are taking 20 lines of code, but when you come to the Python you are writing in one line of code. Like this, in very less number of lines we can use in Python to write write what? Big applications. Okay. And this concept is known as, this advantage is called as what? Concise coding. Okay. Less coding. Okay. Next, functional or procedural or object oriented language. So what do you mean by this particular thing? So let us understand about this one: procedural and what? Object oriented. So in procedural language, okay, and object oriented programming language. Okay. For example, procedural language you take C, object oriented programming language you take Java. Okay. In C language, generally in C language we use printf function. Is it clear? Printf function, you use what? Scanf functions. Like this you use functions to write the program. Okay. And when we come to the Java is an object oriented programming language where you write the programs by using what? Classes and objects. Using what? Classes and objects. So this is procedural style of programming. This is what? Object oriented style of programming. Okay. When we come to the Python programming language, Python, in Python you can use functional style of programming as well as you can use what? Object oriented style of programming. Like this, different style of programming you can use in Python to write the programs. Or you can mix. Okay, you can write functional, you can follow functional programming, you can follow object programming, or both you can follow in Python. Okay. And this is what we call as, Python is a functional, procedural and object oriented programming language. Okay, fine. So any style that you can follow in Python. Okay, right. Now platform independent and are cross platform. Okay, now we are going to understand this feature. So what do you mean by platform independent? Here platform means what? Platform means operating systems. Different operating systems we have. Windows operating system, Linux operating system, Mac operating system. Like this we have different types of operating systems. Okay, right. Now what do you mean by platform independent? Means suppose you are writing one Python code or one Python program that you are writing. Assume, okay, you are writing one Python program. This Python program you can execute in what? Any operating system. Like Windows operating system you can execute. You can execute in what? Linux operating system you can execute. You can execute in what? Mac operating system. Okay. A Python program once written can be executed in what? Can be run in what? Any operating system. Therefore, Python programs are platform independent programs, or Python language is what? Platform independent language. Okay. So this is what happens with it. Next, what do you mean by portability? What do you mean by portability? Same situation, but different strategy here. Okay. Now in this case, now we are going to take, we will not take operating systems, but we will take what? Machine. Machine means hardware. Hardware. Okay. Machine. Okay. Like what? Machine. Okay. So what happens is, this is Windows machine, this is what? Linux hardware machine, this is what? Apple company Mac machine. Okay. So Python programs executes in any hardware it will run. Therefore Python programs are called as what? Portable programs. Therefore Python language is called as portable language. Okay. So this is what you mean by portability. Okay, or platform independent. What is platform independent, please? A program once written, if executes in any operating system, that is called as platform independent. What is portability? A program once written, if executes in any hardware, it is called as portability. Therefore, Python language is platform independent language and portable language. Okay, right. Next, interpreted language. So what next is? Python is interpreted language. So in Python uses what? Interpreter translator. Okay, to execute the Python code. Okay, and how this particular interpreter is going to execute? It is going to execute what? Line by line. So if you write 10 lines of code in Python program, then it will execute what? Line by line. Okay, so there are so many advantages are there. Debugging become easier. Debugging means we can know what is happening in line by line. So in first line what is happening, second line what is happening, third line what is happening, like we can know that particular thing with the help of interpreter. Okay, right. So there is no need of compiler when we come to the Python. Okay, fine. Next, dynamically typed language. So Python is a dynamically typed language. What do you mean by dynamically typed language? Let me explain here. Generally we have programming languages. Okay, programming languages are two types. Let us understand. One is statically typed language, next one is dynamically typed language. First one is what? Statically typed languages. Second one is dynamically typed languages. Okay, statically typed languages and what? Dynamically typed languages. We have two types of languages. Okay, what do you mean by here typed? Typed means here data types. So this is what you have to remember, data types. Okay, right. So for example, if you consider C language, C, it may be C++, it may be what? Java. These languages are statically typed languages. Okay, example, let us assume in Java, I create one variable integer x. Okay, so the x is belonging to integer, so integer variable, x is an integer variable. Therefore in this x you store an integer value, right? But if you store a float value, okay, it is wrong. Okay, then if you store a string like apex, okay, wrong. If you store one array like 1, 6, 7, this is also wrong. Okay, so this integer variable can store only integer value. The other data types it cannot store. Okay, means this variable is fixed to only one data type, one data type, and that data type value can be stored and cannot store other data type values. Okay. Now when we come to the Python, Python is an what is Python? Python is a Python is a dynamically typed language. Now in this language what happens? Let's say examples. I can say examples. Python. So Python is one language. Okay. So other languages also present. JavaScript, PHP. These languages also called as what? PHP. Okay. These languages are also called as what? Dynamically typed language. When you come to the Python, see, x is equal to 12, right? X is equal to, let me say that 5.6, right? X is equal to apex is right. X is equal to 167, also right. Okay. So like this in Python, okay, we can declare the variables to any data type. We can declare the variables to what? Like, suppose if x is stored with 12, now this x becomes what? Integer. This if x is stored with 5.6, then x becomes what? Float variable. Then this data type will change it to what? String. This data type will change it to what? List. Okay. So in Python, this x variable data type is changing according to the value that is storing at runtime. Okay. So therefore such a type of languages which changes the variable data type at runtime based upon the value stored in them, such a type of programming languages are called as what? Dynamically typed languages. Okay. So Python is a dynamically typed language where the data types of the variable will change at runtime. Okay. So Python is dynamical typed language. So we need not to specify any data type for the variable. In Python, we need not to create a data type to the variable. You go on, store the value, and you can use it. Okay. This is the advantage. So therefore Python is a dynamically typed language. Next one, extensible. What do you mean by extensible? Okay, let me explain about this one. Suppose assume that suppose you have written C language code, you have written what? Java code. Okay, suppose one function I have written in the some function, just simply I am writing some function code written in what? C language, and in Java also I written one class, let's say A, and there is one method present. Assume that square method is present. Okay, and there is what? C#.NET is also present. Okay, C#.NET language, and here also written one class, let's say class B, and there is a method called as cube. Assume like that some code is present. Now if you take one Python program, in this Python program you can use this particular C function, you can use this particular square function written in what? Java, and you can use cube function present in what? C#.NET. Okay. So Python language is not limited to itself. The code written in other languages for some functionality can be used in Python, without rewriting again, and this feature is known as what? Yes, and this feature is known as what? Extensible. Okay. So I repeat once again, code written in other languages for some functionality can be used in Python program without rewriting again, and this feature is known as extensible. Okay, extensible. Okay, fine. Next, what do you mean by embedded? Okay, what is embedded? Another advantage of Python is embedded. Now the reverse of this extensible is nothing but what? Embedded. What do you mean by that? Suppose one Python code is there. Okay, Python code is there. What is a Python code? Let's assume that there is one function present. For example, sum is a one function present in Python. Assume. Okay. Now this code you can use in C program. You can use in Java program. You can use in C#.NET program. Okay, like this in any language you can use this particular some function written in what? Python. Like this you can use in Python, and this particular feature is called as, this advantage is called as embedded. Okay, so I repeat, code written in Python can be used in other languages without writing again, and this feature is known as what? Embedded. Okay, right. This is another advantage. Next one, I will understand huge standard library. Okay, means Python support provides what large number of modules. Like in C language, we'll call them as header files. When we come to the Java, we call it as packages. But when we come to the what I mean to say is Python, we call them as modules. Math module, okay, sys module, os module, regular expression, kinter module. Like this, so many modules are there. These modules contains predefined functions and classes and objects which can be used to develop the applications. Okay, for example, in Python you want to calculate square root of 49. For example, n square root you want to calculate. So therefore what we do is import math module. Okay, therefore square root is equal to, I can write simple, math dot sqrt of square root of, okay, n I can say. That's it. Now this particular square root function will calculate square root of 49 7 and assigns to sq. Like this, there are so many built-in modules are present to make the programming simple. Okay, right. That is what huge standard libraries provided. Header files. But in Python, header files are called as what? Modules. Okay, right. Then not only Python itself is having libraries, but also have what? Some extensive third party libraries. Means what? What do you mean by third party libraries? Okay, this we have to understand. So Python is developed by whom? Let's say that Python is developed by one company, python.organization org. So this company written what? Or okay, written what? I say Python language. Assume that Python language, right? Python language written. Okay, so therefore in this Python language have already some built-in, what I mean to say is built-in modules are there and built-in libraries are there. Okay, this is, so Python language already have what? Built-in modules written by this company. Okay, now what happens is the other companies also provides, okay, other companies, some A company, B company, C company, like this, other companies also providing some libraries. For example, NumPy library, Pandas library, okay, suppose OpenCV library, like PyMySQL library. So like this, other companies are also, okay, providing libraries, okay, to Python language to develop various types of applications very easily. Okay, so these libraries are called as, assume these libraries are called as third party libraries. Like this, extensive large number of libraries are there for Python. So to the Python, large number of companies, organizations are providing the libraries. Some of them I am writing, okay, NumPy library for numerical calculations, then PyMySQL for MySQL database connectivity, Pandas for data analysis and manipulation, Matplotlib for data visualization, means charts, for generating charts, different types of charts, bar charts, pie charts, like that. OpenCV for image processing and computer vision, okay, Django Flask for web development, TensorFlow for machine learning, Selenium for browser automation. So like this, different companies are providing this particular libraries. Okay, like so many libraries are there, some thousands of libraries are provided by the third party companies. Okay, right. These are the main advantages, the 12 main advantages of Python that we have discussed so far. Okay, now if there are advantages, there are disadvantages there. We cannot say disadvantage, but limitations are there. Some limitations of Python is there. What the first limitation is? Slower execution speed. Okay, so Python is using interpreter, and interpreter executes line by line. Therefore interpreter is a slower translator than compiler. Okay, but Python uses what? Interpreter to execute the code. That is why Python code executes what? Slower. Python code executes what? Slower, because Python uses what? Interpreter translation. Okay, this is one of the main drawback of what? Python. Okay, then next one is mobile applications cannot be developed using Python. So we cannot develop any type of application we can develop except what? Mobile application we cannot develop, because there is no library support. There is no library support available in what? Python to develop mobile applications. That is why mobile applications we cannot develop in what? Python. Okay. Third limitation is Python is not recommended to develop enterprise applications. Okay. What do you mean by enterprise applications, sir? Very big applications with a lot of services is called as what? Enterprise applications. For example, banking application you take. In banking application, we have lot of services. So bank software is used by the bank people. Okay, online website we can do the transaction. ATM centers uses the bank application services. Okay, your UPI uses what? This particular services. Okay, so like this, your bank application services are used by different sources. Okay, therefore such type of applications are called as enterprise application. Telecom applications also enterprise applications. For example, Amazon you take it. Amazon is also one of the enterprise application. Amazon, lot of services are there. Okay, so such big applications, it is not recommended to use what? Python. So that is what I'm saying. Python is not always the first choice for enterprise applications. Okay, because it uses interpreter and executes what? Slow. Okay, for developing this particular bigger applications, enterprise application, it is always recommended to use Java or what? C#, .NET, because Java and C# .NET applications executes much faster than the Python programs. Okay, so it is always to recommended to develop enterprise applications in Java or what? C# .NET. But okay, enterprise applications are also developing in what? Python. But even though you write the application in Java, okay, but the machine learning algorithms written in the Python can be used in Java. Okay, don't feel that completely Java only we write. No. So machine learning algorithms, okay, any IoT programs that you write in the Python can be used in what? Java. Like that, Java can use the Python code to develop machine learning algorithms. Okay, machine learning applications. Okay, so this is what limitations of what? Python. So this is what the class 1 of Python that we have completed, where we have discussed what is Python, why Python, history of Python, who uses Python, okay, advantages of Python and limitations of Python. Okay, fine. Thank you.